Hi, everybody. Claudia McMullin here, as you all know, founder, CEO, and Hugo's Human. Hello, Hugo Coffee Roasters. I am here as I am weekly with our fundraising partner of the week, and this week we are so excited to be supporting one of our fave organizations, the Fort Wayne Pit Bull Coalition. And I'm here with the lovely Megan and Kendall from the Fort Wayne Pitbull Coalition. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are ya?
I'm great. Now, Megan and Kendall, I don't know who wants to answer, but whoever does, just pipe on in. So tell us about Fort Wayne Pitbull Coalition, what your mission is, what areas you serve, how you fulfill your mission.
Absolutely. I'm going to take lead on that. You'll find I'm the talker in the group. So Fort Wayne Pitbull Coalition is a group that founded back in 2011. As the reason to call ourselves a coalition is we originally founded not to be a rescue primarily, but to be a resource for pit bull type dogs in need. Mm-hmm. So our mission has developed over the years, but our current mission is to assist pit bull type dogs in northern Indiana. Okay. And we do that through education, public awareness, community outreach, rescue now that's been added honestly right after we started. Yeah. And we provide resources to pit bull type dogs and those owners in need to keep those dogs in the home and out of the shelters.
So and why pit bulls? Mm-hmm. And why the mission of wanting to keep them out of shelters?
Absolutely. Across the nation, pit bull type dogs are the number one euthanized animal in the shelters. And one of the main reasons is they're honestly the highest population of dogs in the shelters as well. So they're overpopulated because they're overbred, mm-hmm. and they carry a stigma with them that people apply to each and every individual dog that just shouldn't be. So they're more difficult to place with people who haven't had exposure to the type of dog. Additionally, in our community, at the time we incorporated, our local full access shelter, who has to take every single animal no matter what, mm-hmm. were unable by policy to adopt out any type of pit bull type dog. And there was no other rescue in the area that was doing that as a full-time rescue endeavor. I mean, there were a couple of all breed rescues who are wonderful, but they could take maybe one at a time. And of course, those sat because people were going there for other types of dogs. Mm-hmm. Having a group that's, when you Google pit bull type dog or pit bull, Fort Wayne, Indiana, up we come. Mm-hmm. So people who are looking for that type of dog can come straight to us. And just partnering with the shelters here has made a huge impact on the euthanasia stats locally.
Oh, that's wonderful. So did I hear this correctly? You have a shelter that is legally required to take every animal, but is legally precluded from adopting out a pit bull type dog.
Not anymore, but at one time, yes, they were legally required, as is every county in Indiana, to have a full access intake shelter, meaning you can't turn anything away. So It's not like a private group where they can say we have room or we can adopt this animal. They have to take everything. And it wasn't a legal restriction. It was a policy restriction, an internal policy restriction through the city of Fort Wayne who ran it. But that has since been lifted. They have a great team of people over there. And about 8 years ago, they started a program called the Ambassador Program. That program is gone now because they don't need the ambassador program anymore, because they just adopt out pit bull type dogs, as is every other dog. They have undergone so much training, and they spend money to send their staff out to trainings on behavior, on medical, all that kind of thing. So we're really lucky to have partnerships here in Allen County with both the private shelter and the public shelter, and a couple other private rescues. So we all work together great. Mm-hmm. And you can see it in our euthanasia numbers compared to other counties.
That's fantastic. So give me an idea. So when you're doing the rescue and adoption part, or the adoption part, is that a foster based situation versus, a kennel rescue?
Yes. All of our dogs. all of our dogs are in actual homes.
Mm-hmm.
Some dogs are in homes with other dogs. Some dogs are in homes with no dogs. Some dogs are in homes with dogs and cats. And when we can't do this without our fosters and our volunteers are the backbone of our organization.
Sure.
You know, we're a 501c3. Nobody gets paid. Our board members don't get paid. Our volunteers don't get paid. Our fosters don't get paid.
Mm-hmm.
We're all doing this out of the goodness of our heart. And yes, every single person that's a foster opens their home to a dog that they trust us to place the right kind of dog in their home. And we're able to do that because we behaviorally assess everybody before we bring them in.
Sure.
So yeah.
That's wonderful. And what are the stats on the adoptions, on rescue and adoption, annually or monthly or whatever?
Yeah. So our adoptions definitely slowed down during COVID. It was funny because our intake kind of remained the same because people wanted to foster, but adoptions didn't really happen because I think people were looking at it like I can short-term foster where I wouldn't be able to have done that before. Right. But then the unknown for some people about what life would look like post-COVID kept them from making that lifetime commitment. So the past 2 years of COVID have been lower in numbers. With that said, though, in our 10 years, we've adopted almost 1,300 dogs.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
And
so yeah, tell me about your educational outreach. And probably what I'm gathering, or what I'm assuming, one of the purposes of the educational outreach is to disabuse people of their assumptions about the breed itself, which, by the way, is an educational point in and of itself because it's not a breed. There's no such thing as a breed called a pit bull.
Correct.
Let's talk about first why people think pit bulls are a breed and what actually are they.
Well, a pit bull type dog is what we call them. Pit bull type dogs.
I noticed that terminology. That's how you phrase it. That's why I wanted to talk about it.
Yes, because so there are American Pit Bull Terriers, and a lot of the American Pit Bull Terrier advocates say, well, when you say a pit bull, it's absolutely an American Pit Bull Terrier. Well, that's not true because there's American Pit Bull Terriers, Staffordshire Terriers, Staffordshire Bull Terriers, American Bulldogs, American Bullies, which
English Bulldogs, French Bulldogs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bully breeds.
Bully breeds and terrier breeds, because remember, your Staffordshire Terriers and your Staffordshire Bull Terriers, your American Pit Bull Terriers are all terrier breeds. Yeah. So you have a mixture of terrier personalities in some of the pit bull type dogs, and then bully type dogs, bulldog focused type breeds, but they all kind of fall under that same thing. You look at the big blockheads, you got a blockhead, the likelihood is you're some type of pit bull. So
Hugo is a blockhead.
Yeah.
Hugo's 85 pounds of solid muscle. At 12 years old, he still acts like he's a puppy. It's completely ridiculous. And he can still take me out. If I'm pulling him, if I have him on a leash, I can get wiped out if he sees something and he starts pulling. But no. And the other point is probably the vast majority are not any one thing. These are mutts.
Correct. A lot of them are. Some of them that we get are actually a specific breed. We've got a dog named Casanova right now who is a registered American bully. Now the registration means squat because we neutered him immediately. But we do sometimes get those, what people like to call purebred. But when people say they want a purebred pit bull, that doesn't exist.
Exactly.
So we can talk to them. And the majority of our dogs that we get, we're not sure of their history. Sometimes they are owner surrenders and we do have a history on them and they've purchased them from a breeder back whenever. But a lot of times these are coming from other shelters or other rescues that are in need of help.
Sure. Absolutely. So tell me about your educational outreach. What does that look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a couple different things we do. We partner with Animal Care and Control at least once a year to work with their Explorers program. Explorers program are for children under the age of 18, and I think their new start age is 12. Okay. So we go in and meet with those children and talk to them, bring dogs, explain to them all of these things so that they can go back and tell mom and dad, because usually in this day and age, we're having children educating their parents, because the parents grew up in an age where it was just pounded into their head that these are dangerous baby killing monsters.
Right.
So you convince a child, children can be pretty absorbent little sponges. So we try to do that a lot. We also do tabling events as often as we can. Kendall can talk a little bit more on the frequency of those, but we do Kroger. We do, there's a place out, we have a place out here called The Landing that we put a table up once a month, I think. And what we do is we educate people on the myth of the pit bull being this terrible baby eating dog, which they're not. One of our sayings is changing minds one dog at a time. I think it takes you meeting one wonderful dog to change your mind on what your biases are. But the other side of that is educating pit bull type dog owners how to properly care for their dogs, train their dogs, and ensure that their dog is an advocate for those type of dogs. Because it's hard for us to change the mind of people if the dogs that the people are seeing in the public are unruly, barking, doing normal dog things for any other dog. But because of the way they look, they're going to be judged differently. So we really encourage proper training, positive reinforcement training, making sure they're not kept outdoors on a chain, making sure they're spayed and neutered, making sure that when people approach these dogs, those dogs that are not our dogs are changing people's minds too.
Yes, exactly. 100%. Because I'm a mad bully breed lover. I mean, that's why I'm a foster failure of Hugo at 3 weeks. Like, I
understand. Me too. Vader, 3 weeks.
He's just the cutest.
24 hours.
He's just the cutest damn thing. It's ridiculous. And he's just such a love bug. But I do think that people do really need to know that they're strong dogs. I mean, depending on the dog,
right.
Even like a Frenchie can be strong.
They're pure muscle. Even those little guys are pure muscle.
They are pure muscle. So you do need to be able to control, and you do need to train, and you do not ever, ever, ever keep them outside on a goddamn chain.
Never. There's so many studies. I've done so much research on this and actually gone to many training sessions over the 25 years I've been doing this. The dogs that are chained, no matter what breed they are the most likely to develop aggression issues because it's frustration. It's this frustration of being on a chain that then escalates into aggression because they don't like the mailman passing by. So they're at the end of their chain barking, 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 barking. And then they're positively reinforced because guess what happens to the mailman? He goes away. Well, he's going to go away anyways. But what that dog just learned is if I'm at the end of my chain barking my full head off and acting like I'm going to kill somebody, it works. That thing that I was afraid of went away.
Yeah.
And so they're constantly reinforcing themselves when they're outside dogs.
Yes, 100%. All right. So let's talk about the fundraiser. So
let's do it.
As you know, you guys are our partner for our week-long online fundraiser that started Monday morning and it ends Sunday at midnight. And during the fundraiser, we donate $2.50 for every item sold on the website during the course of the fundraiser, which means if you don't drink coffee, and our coffee's fantastic, by the way.
Very good.
Our coffee is really good. But even if you don't drink coffee, we have fantastic mugs, we have hats, we have T-shirts, anything you want to buy on our website supports your fantastic organization through Sunday at midnight. So let's say, for the sake of argument, that we just do a great job this weekend. We raise money and we have,
which we will.
Yep. Exactly, because we're doing well. We just need to keep going. So say we do like $300 to $500. What kind of impact would that donation have on Fort Wayne Pitbull Coalition?
A huge impact, specifically to a specific dog that we're caring for right now. We call her Meryl. She's a Merle dog, so we call her Merly Meryl. She came into our local shelter as a stray. She is going to need 3 surgeries, 3 big, expensive surgeries. She has to have both of her knees need surgery, both of her patellas, both of her hips need surgery, and she has an extremely large soft palate, so she's going to have a surgery on her soft palate as well as an esophageal surgery. So we'd like everybody to meet Burley Meryl
Oh my
She's a squat little thing. And that would directly impact her. The shelter's not able to keep her, not because they're not wonderful, but they don't have the resources or the place to put her during her long recovery. So they contacted us, and they know I'm a sucker for what I lovingly call my scratch and dents. And so she's our newest addition to our scratch and dent group, but all of that money would go straight to her surgeries, and we cannot do these expensive surgeries without our fundraisers.
Okay.
And
All right.
Claudia,
Well,
we so appreciate your group. And a reminder to everybody out there, even if you don't like coffee, Christmas is right around the corner. I guarantee you someone in your life loves coffee.
that is so true, Megan. And by the time Christmas rolls around, fingers crossed, we're going, and for the next fundraiser, because the other thing we want to make sure your fan base understands is that when Hugo and Beth and I meet, find you guys, or you find us, and we do a fundraiser for you, that's just the beginning of what we hope to be a long relationship. And we also follow you and keep in touch with you. So like, we'll go to the office and I'll say, Beth, did you see what's happening to this organization that we supported last year? Let's reach out to them and see if we can help. So this is the beginning. And the next time we do a fundraiser for you guys, we're going to have even a more robust Shopify opportunity with respect to the amount of items for sale. But hopefully by Christmas, we're going to have plushy toy coffee bag that squeaks.
Oh, I love that.
And an adorable collapsible water bowl, dog water bowl. Anyway, all right. So we have 2.5 more days to kill it, to raise money, to help that squishy Meryl. What is it? That's scratch and dent, adorable baby Meryl.
She's so soft too. Her fur.
She feels like a velveteen rabbit.
Yes.
She looks old. How old do we think Meryl is?
She's not even 2, and she needs all of these surgeries.
Well, she looks like just the cutest damn thing ever. I mean, she just,
oh my gosh,
she looks as soft as you say she is.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a little low rider. When she snores, she sounds like a Mack truck. So
yes,
she might snore louder than my husband if that's a possibility.
Oh my Lord. All right. So this is the call to action. You guys spread the word among your fan base, spread a word among your fan bases, like just spread the word. Let's sell, and let's just raise money for squishy scratch and dent Meryl and get her all fixed up so she can live a long, healthy, happy life in her intended forever home.
Yes. And don't wait. Do it now. Don't think you're going to remember in 2 days. Do it now.
That's right. Now. And the holidays are coming, so you can buy now for that.
That's why I bought on Monday, so I didn't forget.
There you go. And let's do everything we can to help the great organization, the Fort Wayne Pitbull Coalition. All right, ladies, have a wonderful weekend. Let's sell, and we'll talk to you next week. Let you know what we're sending you, and then we'll talk to you again in the near future, having more fundraisers, and have a fantastic weekend.
Thank you so much, Claudia. We appreciate you.
It's our pleasure.